Back everyone to PAX East. We have Game 3 coming up, TK versus Complexity. But first, we have the truth, unfiltered moment of the match, and it comes to you from Search and Destroy on Sovereign. TP had a huge two-piece. You guys can see it on screen right now, right here, right now, Clayster. And as you can see, Aches is getting that reload, but TP was making plays, top control, and he had the bomb the entire time. And then Sharp with a nice two-piece versus TP and Aches. And that was a big moment in the game because it allowed them to get to that 5-5 round. Obviously didn't win the match, but Sharp went absolutely massive for his squad.
And you know, that just goes to show, like, he's confident in his ability. He wasn't having the best of games, but he's like, hey, you know, I can still win this round. We can still win this match. And like you said, unfortunately they didn't pull it out, but that put them in a prime position to win that match.
And those are the kind of plays that you need, and Sharp is definitely the player to do that. And, you know, all I can remember from 2009 when he was in that national championship in Call of Duty 4. Last map, game 11, overgrown Search and Destroy. The guy went 10-0. So Sharp can clutch up at any moment. But in just a second, we are hopping into game 3. It's Warhawk Blitz. We're going to get into that right about now. We're going to be going on board. I want to stay with Theory because he is an objective-minded player for TK. You know, I always see a cap within like the first 30 seconds of Warhawk. It didn't happen in the match versus TK, or the match versus Complexity. Or it was FaZe. It was FaZe. They didn't get the capture. I stayed on board with Classy. Couldn't pull it off. But Theory is going to be breaking off to your right, loading dock, throwing a stun right over, connecting on that, and a nice kill versus TP. He has the other player stunned, and he's not going to pick up the two-piece Ace with a nice kill right there.
And you know, he was a little slow on that push. He knew he had the player stunned. I would have liked to have seen him push it really, really quickly, but instead he kind of went to the side of that head glitch. Oh, he's not here. Rushing back. Ace did it. 1-0. You see Gunjar on the left side of the map, I believe that is, pushing up. Oh no, Gunjar's on your screen right now.
Theory is highlighted at the top left. He's going to have a one-on-one gunfight at those cement blocks on the top left of your mini-map. But we could also see a player from Complexity score, and he is going to get a capture. And that highlighted player for you is going to be moving up in just a second. And Sharp gets taken out. He was the only person in a really a position to get a capture right there.
And you know, we over here on Optic Gaming, we realize you cannot play Blitz like you used to play CTF in previous games. You almost need to have somebody watching all of the back of your base at all times. I took over that role right there. You see Cream in the very back of his base, like, hey, I'm gonna look at all three of these entrances, open up your peripherals, as you told me at CoD Championships, and basically just make sure, hey, we're up 1-0. There's no reason for me to leave our base right now when we are missing 2 players. And we always talk about counting players as well. Like, when you get players dead, you say, that's Crim and Eggs. We're missing TP and Karma. And then you make sure you find those players before you get out of your base.
Yeah, and Sharp with some nasty shots right there on TP. You know, counting players is a big and very important part of competitive Call of Duty. I'm not sure if a lot of people focus on it, but when you know who's alive and what position they are in the map, it's a lot easier to play, and your teammates they'll know what to watch. But we have 2 players from TK making waves at their base, and Sharp with some nice shots and ends up dying, and that's going to be 3 dead for TK and another cap by Complexity. So they have a 2-0 lead, and at the beginning of the game, when I had a few teammates, you know, Optic Gaming went through a few roster changes before you joined the team, I was a very big advocate of, you know, 1 or 2 defense, permanent shots, and formal, disgusting right there. And Crim6 almost gets another capture, but a huge kill by Sharp to stop that right there. And TK is going to finally get one on the board. But like I was saying, I'm a very big fan of a 2 defense rule on Warhawk. I feel like this is the toughest map. As you guys can see, their Complexity gets another capture. They're going to take a 3-1 lead. But I feel like with Warhawk or Octane, it's too hard to keep track of all the players at any given time, and Gunjar's going to be pushing up with that assault rifle, runs right by an enemy at the base, and they are going to have 2 on the board, 3-2 in the favor of Complexity.
And you know, like you're saying, it's so hard to watch all the lanes because you have that blue tarp and that gate. You can move from the right side lane to the left side lane in a matter of 3 seconds. So it's so hard if you just push past it, and you're pushed past it for half a second, a guy can sneak by. You could play by Theory there, crouching so Crim didn't see him. Gets taken out right there through the tin. And I like what Formal's doing here. He's trying to push up the left side of the map because he knows there's only going to be 1 player there. Get some assistance. And now you see Complexity backing up to their base. Like, hey, we don't know where all the players are. Let's find them before we get out of our base.
And that's why they win so much, is because their map awareness is uncontested by anybody in this game. You know, I like to pay attention to my mini-map. I feel like I look at my mini-map too much sometimes, but it worked out for them right there. And you get some good defense right there from Sharp at their base. But I want to see TK put some more captures up on this side of Warhawk Blitz, because I feel like the other side where Complexity is at right now is very difficult, and we just saw Sharp sneak right by somebody on the left side. but that could be a capture for
But see,
Complexity as well.
I want to talk about this for a second. You see Aches run straight for that capture. That's so important because Sharp took his time. Aches spawned back at the base, and now even though Sharp won that one-on-one right there, Aches has already spawned back there. Since he got the cap quicker than Sharp, it's an extra person on defense plus a cap up.
I'm glad you made that observation because that is kind of ironic, the fact that they passed each other, and then by the time that Sharp got to their base, Aches had already scored, and he ended up getting the kill on Sharp. So what are the odds of that?
You know, and that's what it's just got to be quick. You got to be decisive. And, you know, Sharp was looking. There was players behind that cement block. Theory behind TP. Oh, TP turns around, gets him, but there's nobody in the base. This is a capture for TK. Almost getting that tie game.
That was a huge one-on-one.
It's huge one-on-one right there. TP accurately predicting him just a half a second too late. I like that play from Theory right there.
Yeah, and he picks up a nice kill at loading dock. He's going to have one player to beat if he keeps pushing this right side, but he's going to be moving over to the middle of the map. Some nice shots in the middle lane. He's going to be pushing towards Gina's. We have Complexity coming out of his base, and TP with the headshot, stopping that push from Theory. And with 27 seconds left, this is a very close game.
And you see that play by that person in post alley right here. Crim6 making the play through post, going around some players, making a cross all the way to the other lane, picking up a kill on Sharp. Can he get the two-piece? Gets the two-piece on Gujar, and he's going to slide that one in. Amazing play from Crim6.
Disgusting. Oh my lord, he's on a 4-kill streak.
And that goes back to what I was talking about. He was on the right lane. He got all the way to the left lane. In a matter of 3 seconds, picks up and uses his gun skill, picks up the two-piece and sends them into the second side with the 2-point
I'd
advantage.
be curious to see if he's running steady aim. I see TP is right there, but that hip fire, watching from a third-person perspective while I've been casting, I have realized how much other players hip fire.
Yeah, steady aim's really good in this game. If you guys haven't figured that out yet, slap it on real quick, use it a little bit, and as Killa would say, it's all from the hip. It's all from the hip.
You remember Call of Duty 4 when Dead Silence and Steady Aim were in the same class slot, so you couldn't use both? I kind of miss those days because I feel like Steady Aim is just unbelievably overpowered. I love it, but I think it is overpowered. But some players from TK dying, they go 2 down. Aches is going to be pushing up very aggressively. If you look at your mini-map, look at the teamwork from Complexity. They're moving up as a squad. TK does get a big stop there with 3 kills. Karma with a nice 2-piece. He is the Lone Ranger at TK's base, and Sharp with a nice kill to stop that push from Complexity.
Even though they got shut down, the spread right there was perfect. They had 1 person on each side on the map, 2 people in the middle assisting. Even though they died, that's the kind of map spread you want with your team. You want to be able to all be able to do something where you're not both watching the same thing. Great shot by there. Sharp, that's 3 dead on Complexity. I'd like to see them get aggressive. There's a one-on-one on the side of the map, and I think Crim6
if he goes fast enough, he can get a capture.
This is what I'm talking about. They need to be quicker. They could have spawned in their base, and now Crim6 is in TK's base. This is going to be a capture for Crim6 because they were so slow on capping the Blitz cap.
That's just how it goes, and that's why I love Blitz. I really am a big advocate of that 2 or 3 defense because that one play right there from Crim6 is going to get them another capture, but TK answers right back, so that 2-point lead is still there. And
great spot. TP, I think it was.
And he's going to get shot in the back. Still an amazing spot. I'm going to have to use that when I get back to Chicago at the team house. But right now, Complexity is 3.5 minutes away from taking this 3-0. The pace of the game is strong. TK just got 3 dead, but they're all going to spawn up at their base, closing in on their Theory. Reloading his MTAR, going to be pushing up, looking for these kills in the base. Almost picks up the kill versus Karma, and he's going to shut it down. The hip fire from Karma is just hip fire too strong. You know what I'm saying? But Sharp, he's going to pushing up the right side of the map. You know, pre-aiming this right side. He's got to make the play. I think he needs to get more aggressive.
And you see Aches following his teammates directly up that alley. I don't think they saw him because they didn't expect 2 players to be there.
He dodges by all 4 of TK, and they're going to take a 3-point lead. It's plays like that, those decisions that win championships.
I want to talk a little bit about that. You saw Aches spinning around knifing. He knows that everybody just saw that amazing play. Following his teammate up, letting them kill his teammate. So they're like, oh, there's only going to be 1 here because Complexity spreads the map. But they're like, nah, I'm going to hide in this corner and I'm going to get a capture.
I know who does that a lot?
Me
and Money B.
Hey,
we like to bait each other.
We
are the master baiters, you know what I'm saying? But TP with a nice kill from behind, gonna pick up a 2-piece, and TP is just on fire. 3 dead for TK, and they are gonna be pushing very hard into the opponent's base.
You know, even though they're down 3 points, 2 minutes isn't that much time. When you've only captured 4 in the past 8 minutes, you need to make some moves really quickly. You see, another one goes on the board for TK.
2 minutes away.
Yeah,
they can definitely still do this.
You know, it only takes 11 seconds to get 2 caps.
And
so
Complexity is
stuck.
They are going to get 2 big kills, and they answer right back. There's no
they
stopping
traded,
them.
But they traded right there. That's what you need. If you're Complexity, you're cool with trading the rest of this game. You just keep trading caps. You get one, I get one. You get one, I get one. But hey, in the end, we're up 2. So I'd like to see TK put somebody in that goalie role, make them go clutch in their base.
And Ace doesn't know it yet, but he's already stuck by another player. This should be another cap, as long as that guy Diner doesn't rotate back, and he's not going to. And that's what I love about having a lead at the end of games. And Complexity is going to go up by 3 with 1.5 minutes left. Ace getting that capture, pushing right back into his base, and getting a 2-piece. You cannot stop that.
It's amazing map awareness from him, too. Killing that first one right there and then looking to the left, knowing that somebody's going to be trying to sneak him by, because they're getting desperate at this point.
Yeah,
they have 70 seconds left, and they need 3 captures.
And he's most likely going to get another capture. TP's in the base as well. And that's what I was saying. When you have a lead in Blitz, you have the ability to control the game. Every player on TK is playing frantic. They're pushing out as fast as they can, trying to get caps, and Complexity knows it, and they're just overextending. And this is why they have won so many tournaments. Ace is on a 7-kill streak with 2 captures in a row. 5 caps for the squad.
He's capped 2 without dying. That's
he's playing
insane.
out of his mind right now. And he knows when to play defense. Somebody did get by, but he might be able to pick up the kill.
You know, there's 5-point advantage here. It takes 41 seconds to get 5 captures. Even though TK just scored one on the board right there, it's mathematically eliminated. I like to use that term sometimes. You can't use it.
Eliminated.
You can't use it too many times in Ghost. You know, like in Hardpoint, you knew it was over with 2 hills left to go. But here on Blitz, it's a little bit more difficult. You got to wait a little longer. 10 seconds to cap, and then 1 more second to get that next cap. You see Eggs getting nice 4 dead right there. Got to put another one in, add insult to injury. Finish this one out with a clean 3-0 sweep. 27 and 21 coming. Eggs done a 10-kill streak right now. That is insane.
He's out of ammo. He's out of ammo. He killed his teammate.
All his ammo.
So now,
great performances out of everybody.
10 kill streak to end the game. So now TK is going to be dropping down into the losers bracket. We're going to be discussing their matchup very soon. But as you guys can see TK and Complexity shaking hands. You know, they're all being good sports. But we are going to drop to a commercial break. We'll be right back to discuss these matchups. We're going to have TK moving down to the losers bracket versus Curse LV, and Envious facing off against FaZe, and then Strictly Business and Complexity are the only teams left in the winners bracket.
That's going to be a thriller.
That's going to be winners bracket finals.
Yeah, Strictly Business versus Complexity.
We'll see you guys in a little bit commercial break. Goodbye.